Hello everyone and welcome to a special episode of Red Raptor Writes. In this episode, we are celebrating our 25K special. 25,000. Dang, that's a lot. I remember just last year or a year and a half ago recording the 1,000 subscriber Q&A special. And oddly enough, this channel is 25 times larger than it was then. I just can't even comprehend it. Just how lucky, how fortunate I am to have such a great fan base. I mean, all of you guys are great. Thank you for watching my videos, for subscribing, for commenting. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad that I make content that you guys actually want to watch and that people enjoy. I've come a long way in the, well, let me think, 6-ish years of doing this. Yeah, I started in the summer of 2017 after I graduated high school. So it's crazy to think that this actually went somewhere, and I can't believe it. It's just very special. Thank you guys so much. So as promised, for my 25K special, I visited the American Museum of Natural History in New York City. I went with my fiance about 2 weeks ago now, and I'm putting it all together for you guys to watch. I took some videos, took some pictures. We had a great time there. But this special is going to be divided into two parts. This first part, I'm going to show you the videos that I recorded while I was there with my fiance. You'll see her in a few of the videos. Her name's Delaney. She's wonderful, and she's so sweet for coming along with me for this adventure. And I use her in some demonstrations. And then part two, I'll come back and I'll show you a presentation of the different pictures that I took, or some of the highlights. There were just so many different creatures from so many time periods that it's impossible to get to all of them. So I took pictures of the highlights, and I'll go back and cover more in depth some of the information and some of the animals that I didn't get to take videos of. A lot of them. There are so many of them, so I couldn't film all of them. And also, at some points, people were just too loud. There are people all over the place. They're kids. Ugh, kids. They're noisy. They smell. Yeah. And sometimes when like a child is just screaming because kids are annoying, I couldn't take a video of anything without you hearing shrieking annoying child in the back. Yeah, when I see puppies, it's just a wonderful time. When I see children, children. Okay, so without further delay, I'll show you all the videos that I took in the American Museum of Natural History. I hope you enjoy. We are here today for the 25 sub special at the American Natural History Museum, but there is one missing part to this. No Teddy Roosevelt. They got rid of my favorite president, one of the best presidents, because it had Indians on it. Thank you for that, New York. You're a great place.
They stole it from me, Carmine! They took it! That was today! Today!
Okay, I apologize for all the people in the way, but it seems like we're off to a good start today. There's no droopy tail. We have the nice, stiff, raised tail. The wrists are looking in their proper place. No pronation there. This is clearly Allosaurus fragilis. You can tell the premaxilla isn't super extended, as in Jimadseni. It's looking good so far. And then Barosaurus up here, way up there. A nice diplodocid from the Morris information, also looking really nice with its baby too. Okay, no droopy tail, that stiff tail. Hopefully it holds up. Coelophysis will forever have a bad rap as like the certified cannibal dinosaur. Honestly, probably all theropods are cannibalistic at some point, but bones in their stomach were mistaken as younger Coelophysis. They probably ate each other anyways, who cares? Okay, Delaney, I'm gonna need you for a second. You're gonna be a volunteer. Can you pronounce the name for that dinosaur that's there?
Majungasaurus primitissimus?
Exactly. So it's, remember guys at home, it's not Majungatholus. Jurassic Fight Club lied to you. They lied to you.
Just a little
Majungatholus.
Actually, dude, it's
Mojongosaurus.
That's what I said.
I have a double feature, but let me start with Ceratosaurus, my favorite dinosaur. Okay, there's a bit of a glare here, but you can see the ornamentation on the skull. Got those 3 crests and really long teeth. Although, even though they had long teeth, they still would have been covered in lips. Sorry guys who are in the lipless debate. But also, we have Dilophosaurus here, which this would have been good a couple years ago, but unfortunately, new findings, new studies from 2020 say that they had a more robust skull, and the crest, we don't know how far it goes, so it could have been much bigger and going backwards. See, the other Allosaurus at the entrance sparked joy. This one does not spark joy. It has the droopy tail, the hands are pronated there. Still fragilis, and it's, I think, trying to eat some sauropod remains. But this one, oh, it's a slinky tail too. Okay, this one doesn't hold up as well. All the love went to the one in the front. Here we have the legend that started it all, the Deinonychus. The one that kicked off the dinosaur renaissance, taught people that dinosaurs weren't just these cold-blooded losers who died out eventually, but were warm-blooded, quick, maybe sometimes intelligent animals that became birds. You can see the killing claw there. It does have the claw for which it was named, though it's not flexing it. It's alright, we don't always need to be flexed on. The fingers are looking good, just those giant winged fingers, but they are pronated. But we do have those ossified tendons holding its tail steady. Okay, nice Deinonychus over there, and the scleral rings there. Epic. Epic gamer moment. And of course, here is the Tyrant Lizard King, Tyrannosaurus itself. And you know what? It's pretty good. I mean, the hands are a little bit broken. Yeah, kind of. But it is upright, which is more than I could say about the other Tyrannosaurs that are in this building. Oh, that's my finger. If you look at the skull, you can see that nice row of holes above the teeth, the foramina. So that would have provided nutrients and nerves to the lips that they did have. Yes, they had lips. And you can see those forward-facing eyes for the binocular vision. So this thing had the vision of an eagle, maybe better. Next up, we have the Jurassic dinosaur Ornitholestes, which, okay, it's a little droopy today, slinky tail. The wrists are fine, but you see that the skull is missing the tip of the nose, and that has led to some controversy as people have recreated this as a crest, although we now think that it was just a squash part of the nose. So unfortunately for the Walking with Dinosaurs gang out there, no crest on Ornitholestes today. And now this is Struthiomimus, straight out of The Land Before Time 2, those dirty egg snatchers played by Carl Wieser, Rob Paulson. This skeleton is actually looking really nice. Although, well, this picture, again, this picture looks nice, very dinosaur renaissance, so something you'd see it between like the 60s and 90s, and then I don't know what happened here. This is good luck, buddy. So back in the day, before the 2000s and 2010s, this is really all paleontologists had to go off of. And this is their interpretation of Dinochirus. We've covered it before on the channel, An Amazing Dino World, Prehistoric Planet. We know what the rest of this looks like, a giant duck ornithomimosaur thing. Oh my god. Just, who could have guessed what it would become? Up here on the left we have Gorgosaurus liberatus, but this is a young specimen, so it's actually named Gorgosaurus geosternbergi, but now we know it's a juvenile, and that juveniles looked a lot different than the adults. This is an Albertosaurus over here. Presumably, probably fully grown-ish. So a lot different than the lankier, more slender children. Same goes for you, Tyrannosaurus. Here is a dinosaur family tree. On one hand, we have the Ornithischians, and on the other, the Saurischians. You can notice that clearly this is pre-Renaissance, a lot of it. Like the Apatosaurus is drooping, the Allosaurus is drooping, Stegosaurus not looking so hot, you know. And they also call it Montosaurus annectens anatotitan, which we'll see that more soon. But yeah, that is not up to today's standards. We do have a lot of cool dinosaurs in here. Oh, we have the lineage leading up to ceratopsians, the pachycephalosaurs. You see Stegosaurus there, branching off in Marginocephalia. Although, they still have this outdated notion of carnosaurs and carnosauria, where Allosaurus is related to the Tyrannosaurids. Instead, the Allosaur void should break off, and then there should be Coelurosauria, which includes the dromaeosaurids, ornithomimids, tyrannosaurids, and the birds. We do have the mosasaur here, Clydastes. Oh, you can see that tail action going on. Got the flippers. Yeah, Tylosaurine. And this whole exhibit does discuss the relationship between mosasaurids and varanids, like monitor lizards, and snakes. So they had the right idea going on. Here is everyone's favorite non-turtle, turtle-like animal, Henotus. Yeah, don't let this fool you. This is a Raptor Aegean. It's not a turtle, guys.
Wow, would you look at that? It looks like a turtle.
Look at the size of that megalodon jaw. That thing is insane. It's huge. The museum still calls it Carcharodon megalodon, although it is now a Todus megalodon, so it's not just a big great white shark. But yes, the megalodon is definitely extinct. There are none left. Don't worry, guys. You can go to the beach in peace and safety. Okay, let's see. We have Apatosaurus here, Camarasaurus in the middle, then Diplodocus. It doesn't say what's that in the middle. Maybe Patagotitan, since this is the Patagotitan area. Apatosaurus of some description, Camarasaurus, and more Barosaurus. No, Camarasaurus here, these two are Apatosaurus. All those lovely Morrison sauropods having a party today. Patagotitan, not the largest dinosaur ever. I think Argentinosaurus still holds that record, but that doesn't matter. This is still a super massive, super impressive sauropod. It's just epic. Straight from late Cretaceous Argentina. Now here in New York. What a downgrade. On to one of the strangest elephant relatives is the Platypelodon with that spoon mouth. Used to, I don't know, shovel vegetation. Just such a strange creature. The Mesozoic gets all the love, and I know I love the Mesozoic, but there's some pretty crazy Cenozoic animals out there too. The classic woolly mammoth. Seeing it here in the museum, though, maybe we'll see this in a zoo someday. Maybe. Although, early humans did get to see this, and even later humans. This didn't go extinct until like 3500 BC. So the pyramids came out, well not came out, they weren't released like an album. But the pyramids were built before the last mammoths died. Here, okay, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but in the American Natural History Museum and AMNH, we have these camels, and camels are native to the Americas. They actually didn't start off in the Old World, they started off in the New World and then migrated to the Old World and then died out in the New World. Well, new to Europeans, the same world to the Native Americans who were here. This one is straight out of Zoo Tycoon 2 when you complete that skeleton.
I wrote a blog post a while ago about why I f***ing hate video games, because this is what it does. It appeals to like the male fantasy.
Megaloceros, the Irish elk. And then here's an Irish person for comparison. Okay. We're met here with Indricotherium, in quotes. Indricotherium, the largest land mammal to ever live. One really, Indricotherium was lumped into Paraceratherium, and now it's estimated that a species of Paleoloxodon was even more massive. But still, that doesn't take away from this impressive giant rhino relative. Interesting fact about Thomas Jefferson that he named this giant claw
Megalonyx, well, he didn't know it was a big herbivore, a big sloth-like animal. He thought it was a predator because all he had was a giant claw. He was obsessed with paleontology too and thought that mammoths might be alive. So part of the reason he sent out Lewis and Clark was to find mammoths potentially out in the Louisiana Purchase territory. You go, Thomas Jefferson. The Australians are getting some love here with the Protodon. Oh my goodness. Largest marsupial ever known to walk the earth with its big honky nose. And then next to it is other marsupial, Thylacoleo. That weird marsupial lion thing that unfortunately lived with Megalania, so not a good time. But you see, it's like, it has weird marsupial rodent-like teeth, but was a predator with giant arms and giant claws for tackling prey. I have to give a shout out here to my favorite Ornithischian dinosaur, the Styracosaurus. That magnificent frill, big bony core sticking out of its face.
It's enough to make a grown man cry.
Now it's projected to go forward. That's usually how it's reconstructed these days. And that frill can have a whole strange alignment of spikes sticking out of it, with specimens where the horns grow in different shapes and can even be unequal. So it's a very fascinating yet confusing dinosaur. I love Triceratops, but I don't think it's a valid species anymore. Today we have Horridus and Porsus and maybe some unnamed species, but there's no Triceratops serratus kicking around now. Next, while we're looking at Ornithischian dinosaurs and ceratopsians, we have Psittacosaurus, which is an early ancestor to other ceratopsians, an early relative. Yeah, so now we have preserved feathers on the tail sticking up, so we have a better idea of what these look like, and maybe even a belly button. I saw news about that, so a lot new interesting stuff. Oh, and the coloration too. Now that's like a black, orange, orangey kind of dinosaur. We're learning so much about these dinosaurs. It's a good time to be alive. Oh, and here's their reconstruction of it, which is actually looking very good. The coloration is pretty good, although it's missing the quills, the feathers on the tail. It is looking like a epic Psittacosaurus. One of the biggest L's of the day, we have some Edmontosaurus here, and they look, beautiful. They're Edmontosaurus, but then when you start getting to the back, yeah, you have droopy tail, very bad droopy tail, and they're also not called Edmontosaurus here. They're called Anatotitan, that dumb, outdated name. No, these should be Edmontosaurus annectens. No such thing as Anatotitan anymore. Could have done better, or at least this museum needs a good update. I see how it is. So when it comes to the mummy is called Edmontosaurus annectens, but everything else, like these guys over here, are called Anatotitan. How wonderful. Maybe the worst offender here today is Stegosaurus. Yeah, it has those outdated proportions with the small neck, thick hips, but as we go further back, it gets worse.
I'm not making the same mistakes again.
No, you're making all new ones.
See, it has a bad case of droopy tail. Oh man, look at these statues they have. These very, say, 1900-esque statues. Not 1900s, 1900. No, and then here we have those tail spikes, which they have sticking up. No, this wouldn't do anything for it. The tail spikes should be sticking out horizontally, so, since the tail would be parallel, like that, then by swinging the tail horizontally with the spikes horizontally, that is how it hit things. It didn't point upwards and try to aim upwards. This is just horrendous. Needs a big update. Probably wasn't updated for 50, 60 years, something crazy. Here we go, some relevant information, some good information that no, Stegosaurus and other dinos did not have two brains. And even this picture here, let's see, is Okay, still thick, still old proportions, but still much better than the actual cast, which the skeleton mount probably takes a lot of money and a lot of time to update. As you can see, we have reached the height of all accuracy. This is, okay, of all the reviews I've done, of all the videos I've made, this is clearly the most accurate Tyrannosaurus that there ever was. Get back in focus, camera. Oh my goodness. It's just beautiful. I can't even put into words how amazing this thing is. Look at that.
I have no words. Nothing.
Thank you for watching this video. Remember, there will be a part 2 coming out where I go back and I cover different animals, or I cover the same animals in depth. Go through slides, look at pictures of them, and then talk about them some more. So stay tuned for that. But remember, if you enjoyed this video, to please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't been one of those 25K, and to check out my social media. See you next time.